Good morning, YouTube. It is 9 o'clock in the morning and it is Monday, the 27th of November. You join me here at Preston. I'll go into further details about why we are here later on. But from the last video, I gave a bit of an introduction to who I am and my ambitions of becoming a Class 1 driver. Since that video, I have contacted a local driving school called Benshaw Training, who are based in Burnley. And I was recommended them by a friend who I saw a few years ago driving Class 2 vehicle, and he said they were brilliant. So I've gone with them, emailed them a couple of times just to get some details about, how the course is structured, what's going on, how much it costs and stuff like that. So everything was I was happy with. The course itself cost me just over £3,100, and that's for everything basically. And so since that phone call about 4 or 5 weeks ago, talking to the guys in the office, they have given me a kind of online pack to do to basically revise for the theory tests. And I've been doing that basically for the past 4 or 5 weeks. There were loads of questions on there. I did all the multiple choice questions, thought I was ready, rang the office to book my theory test. My idea was to book each individual test separately. So there's 3 tests. There's the multiple choice questions, then there's the hazard perception, and then there's the CPC case studies. Now, the guys at the office said that I could sit each test separately, but they recommended doing all 3 tests at once because that's what most drivers do. When I looked at how much material there was to revise for each section, there was quite a lot. So I thought, because I work 7 days a week, it would probably be easier for me if I did concentrate on each topic. So I thought I'll do the multiple choice questions first, go to the exam, then do the CPC or the hazard perception, sit that exam, and then do the final exam at some other time. I just thought it would be easier. So I did all the multiple choice questions, rang up the office and said I'm ready for my hazard perception, the multiple choice theory exam, and I'm ready to book. But then they kind of convinced me that you should stick it out for another few weeks, do the other 2 topics as well, and you can see all 3 exams at once. So I kind of went along with it, and then kind of got confident on the other 2 subjects and thought, yeah, I could probably do this. So that was 4 or 5 weeks ago anyway. And now, here on the 27th, you join me in Preston, and I'm about to go in and take my theory test. I am nervous, to say the least. It's just gone 9 o'clock and my test is in under an hour. So, yes, fingers crossed. I'll have some maybe good news at the end of this video. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in a second. Hello, welcome back. So yeah, I've just come back from the theory test center. That took quite a long time. So I sat the tests in order. Did the multiple choice questions first. That was okay. That was pretty easy actually. I thought it was going to be a bit harder than I thought it was. Then did the what do you call it? Hazard perception. That was really easy. And then finally did the CPC questions. Has some tricky ones in there, I think. But yeah. So yeah, just come back now, and yes, passed it. So yeah, thrilled. Passed it first time. So yeah, really thrilled about that. I had visions of not passing this, considering the course material I've been looking at and all the kind of things that you've probably got to know. I wasn't thinking I was going to pass this, but when I got into the actual test center, yeah, the questions were dead easy. I think most of the multiple choice questions, I'll probably say about 80-90% of them were more car related than HGV related. I was kind of surprised at that. I got one or two questions that were HGV Pacific, but then most of them were just car stuff. So yeah, that kind of eased me into it. The hazard perception, which I've never done before, because when I passed my car license, there was no hazard perception, so I was kind of worried about that. And then on the training material that I had, there were kind of like two versions of the hazard perception. There were like computer generated simulations, which kind of were easy, I suppose. And then you had real life driving simulations. And I was struggling with the hazard perception when I was doing the practices, because you only have this kind of certain amount of, like a certain window where you can actually click on the mouse to actually score your high points. Now, I've been driving cars for almost over 20 years now, so when I was watching the videos, I was seeing the hazard and clicking on the mouse, and then just letting the video play. But when I was doing that, my scores for the videos were like zeros or ones. Well, they were mainly zeros, I think, because I was perceiving the hazard earlier than the window. I clicked the mouse and then it said, "Oh, you clicked too early." It's like, okay, but I've perceived the hazard, but then obviously I got a zero for it. Anyway, that was during training, so looking at the materials, but I kind of learned to perceive the hazard, click it a few times. Well, obviously you can't click it too many times, but click it a few times just to make sure you've clicked within that window, so you get the points for it. Anyway, the test just now, yeah, so I passed it. That was no problem, and then the CPC passed that as well. So anyway, results time. So let's go for it. Which one's this? I've passed my large theory test. So this is the multiple choice questions. Over here, it says I've got 89 out of 100. That's pretty good. I think the pass mark is 85. I think. Not sure what the pass mark is. But anyway, 89 out of 100 for my multiple choice questions. And for the hazard perception, this is the one I was worried about. I got 81 out of 100. So that's really good. And for the driver's CPC case studies, I got 44 out of 50. So yeah, pretty decent marks there, I think. But yeah, pass. So as soon as I came out of the test center, I gave Benchore Training a ring and gave them the good news that I passed, and they have now booked me in for a medical, which I think it's next week. They sent me a text message, but yeah, I think it's next week. They've also booked me on for the actual practical side of things now, and I've got some dates. So I've got my medical next week, and then I think on the 7th is my first day of actually going in and doing some practical work. So I'm in the 7th of December, the 8th, and then the 12th, and then I've got a week off, and then I'm back in on the 21st, I think. Yeah, 21st and 20th and the 21st. So just before Christmas. I mean, the last day is my actual driving test. So I only got 5 days of actually doing some driving. So yes, I'll be on the road soon. So looking forward to that.